Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series, The Bone Collector. Let's get into it! Let's start our deployment with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, Valaverse Action Force. Warning, don't stick things in your pile that do not belong there. And then a little sliver of a window. And on the front, that window continues down and becomes a nice big window showcasing the figure and most of the accessories, or most of the figure and most of the accessories. Action Force 14 and up, the Bone Collector Valaverse. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, Valaverse, don't give it to babies, Action Force, and a barcode. Products and colors may vary. On this side, some nice artwork of the Bone Collector. Then we have some logos down here. The Bone Collector Special Deployment Series 06. Action Force. And of course, in the background, we have that nice diamond plate that's all over. This one appears to be quite near some fire. You see some sparks or reflections or something there. And on the back, we've got a nice product shot of the Bone Collector. If you guys want to scan that for additional Action Force products, there it is. Cut and save the combat profile. And if you guys want to read that, you can pause it right here. But I'm going to move on. Action points too. Cut and save action points for future promotions. As of this recording, there's actually one going on right now. Follow Valaverse on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Valaverse.com. Valaverse. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. Let's start off with the accessories, as we always do. And he does come with 3 extra sets of hands. 1 set of C-grips on in and out hinge. Nice molded detail, nice paint color. Or paint app, I guess I should say. And there's a left and a right C-grip. Then 2 weapon cradling hands, a left and a right, also an in and out hinge. Also nice sculpted details and some nice paint apps. And again, it's a left and a right. And the final set of extra hands is a set of fists, left and right. Again, nice sculpted details, in and out hinge, and nice paint apps. And again, left and right. Alright, moving right along. Here we have a nice, I believe it's a kukri knife. I probably mispronounced that. Molded in black plastic with a nice silver paint app for the blade. Nice molded details. Here we have his sidearm, which I'm thinking is a Desert Eagle 44 Magnum. I could be mistaken though. I do believe it is molded in this black plastic, and then everything is painted that nice silver that it has on it with nice little flecks in it. Then we have the 2 extra ammunition magazines. Nice paint. More of a gunmetal maybe. And there's 2 of those. They're exactly the same. Then we have his rifle. And like all the Action Force weapons, it does have nice molded detail, a few paint apps. The ammo magazine is, with a little difficulty, removable, and it's just like the other 2. And it's got this nice paint app on it here. Grenade launcher underneath. So, very nice. Next up we have his flak jacket, and as you can see, it looks like it's got some grenades for the grenade launcher right here along the chest. And it does have some nice paint apps. It does have this nice silver paint app, and you can see that there's a lot of pitting and scarring on the armor pieces, denoting that he has had or seen a lot of action. Probably had a lot of action too. And then this is how it connects up. 2 ports here, 2 mushroom pegs over here. Just line them up and push them into place. Although that is easier said than done, usually. Here we have the nice standard Action Force figure stand. The slot in the back there, you can probably put a background in there if you wanted to stand up behind the figure, or you could put the file card in there, or combat card, whatever it's being called. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 posts, and then Action Force emblazed in there. And then 2023 Valaverse LLC, made in China. What? And here's his last accessory, his mask. And I'll have to say, it looks really nice. It does have a nice paint wash on it that gives it that extra skeletal look, in my opinion. And it's just scary looking. I know you'd hate to see this guy coming at you in the war zone. Any war zone. And you can see the wash kinda, they put it on the inside too. So that was pretty neat. Well, whether that was by design or by a paint accident, I don't know. But overall, I would say it's very nice looking piece. Now let's take a look at the figure himself and take a look at the head sculpt. And it does have some nice paint apps there on the face. And if you gave this guy a mustache, he would look like Simon and Simon Gerald McCraney. Maybe even Major Dad. That's just my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. The body is pretty standard Action Force body. Male. And, you know, it does have some nice paint apps here for the pants, the holster, and ammo pouch or magazine pouches have some nice paint apps on them as well. And there's a little bit of paint going on the upper torso, and then pretty much nothing down here. It's a little bit of paint apps on the knee pad looks like a silver draw brush to kind of give it that used real world feel to it. And let's see what his articulation is. And we're going to do the articulation without the armor on it, because all of this kind of gets lost when you put the armor on him. At least this, where the chest and the abdomen meet, really gets lost, and you can't really do a lot with it. But let's see. He can look up that high, and you can see it's on that hinge and ball system. He can look down that far. He's got some chicken neck, so there's going to be a rave at the boneyard later. He's got some waggle in there. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulders, he's got butterfly back that far, forward that far, 360 degrees of rotation, and his arm raises up that high at the shoulder. There's a cut here at the upper bicep for a 360 degree rotation, double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. At the wrist, 360 degrees of rotation, and the trigger fingers both have up and down hinges. Back to the cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. It gives you some hula motion in there. It gives you 360 degrees of spin, tilt left and right, and pretty much the same. This is on like a ball or dumbbell hinge at the waist. It pretty much will spin 360 degrees, although it's rough to do it because you can see this piece and the outside of the lower of the waist kind of get in each other's way, but it still can do it. Now these two, okay, and he got some hula there as well. I forgot to mention that. And he can lean left, right, forward, and backwards. Now in conjunction, those two joints let him lean backwards that far, forward that far, lean to the left, lean to the right, do some hula all darn night. At the hips, he does have pull down joint, and with that pull down hinge engaged, he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward that far, back 3 steps maybe. Cut at the upper thigh gives you 360 degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and gives you that much bend. Now here at the shin at the top of the boot, there is a boot cut for another 360 degrees of rotation. And at the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin, full rocker. Now as far as storage for the accessories go, again, I guess the first thing you kind of want to do actually is pop the head off, because it makes it a lot easier to get this flak jacket on. Flak vest, armor. I'm not sure exactly what the technical term for it is. And once you've got that over his shoulders and his neck, you can go ahead and pop the head back on if it will. Sometimes they like to not go on like they're supposed to. That little ball and hinge likes to run away. And again, as far as these go, you just kind of have to work with them till you get them in there, and that's what I'll do off camera. And here we have it, with a little help from the handy dandy tweezers. Got that piece right in there. Now as far as his kukri knife goes, there's the sheath right there on the back, and it just slides right on in there. Stays in there pretty good due to friction. Sidearm goes right here in the holster. And his extra ammo magazines go in these pouches right here on the other leg. And they all stay in there pretty good due to friction. As far as his rifle goes, it's got a trigger hand on this side, trigger finger hand. So just slide it in there and give it a little twist to put everything into proper position. And we have his mask, and just slide it right on in there, on there. And again, due to friction, it stays pretty good. It's not super tight, but it's tight enough, and it doesn't really move a whole lot when you're articulating the head. And then finally, of course, the stand has the foot pegs on it that we looked at earlier, and then here's the ports on the bottom of the feet, and you just choose which one or ones that you want to use. And there we have it, my friends, a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review: comparisons. And here we have the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Bone Collector with the Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Scarab. Here we have the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Bone Collector with the Target exclusive Cobra Island G.I. Joe Classified Series Major Blood and the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive Master of Disguise Zartan. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Action Force Special Deployment Series Bone Collector with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Bone Collector, I have to say, this is a pretty cool looking dude, and he just looks bad. And this is definitely a dude I would not want to see coming at me. Especially with that skull mask. It's just, to see this charging at you on a battlefield would be horrifying. And I like the paint scheme on this guy. I like the paint that they did on his mask to give it that kind of, he dug it up out of the dirt or out of some burnt bodies or something, and it's just, I really like the look of this figure. I mean, Valaverse's Action Force line is knocking it out of the park. And, you know, I know like 90% of the stuff is reused out of, you know, past Wave 1 and then now Wave 3. You know, there's a lot, you know, of reuse going on with these figures, but they deco them and kit them out so differently, and it really doesn't matter that there's that much reuse in the line. But from this guy's weapon, his large pistol, the kukri knife, this huge rifle with the grenade launcher on it, this big chest armor, the skull mask. I mean, he just looks great. He's an awesome figure, and I am glad that they re-released him in the special deployment line, because I did miss out on him the first go round. And I'm telling you guys, if you just paint a mustache on his face without the helmet, he looks like Gerald McCraney. So I don't know, did Valaverse pattern the Bone Collector after Major Dad? The world may never know. But that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future, you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks, and I'll see you next time.